Now it works. I had an issue with my button. Um, Welcome in. I know I don't have the game loaded up yet. Let me fire up the game real fast. Um, it is Thursday. It is cold. Um, I am freezing. How are we doing though? Let me go ahead and fire up the OOTP screen, and then we'll. Okay, there we go. So I don't have to do anything else. Last year we were kind of bad, right? So the goal today is just to do the off season and some other stuff. We're gonna go ahead. What we're gonna do, we got first off, we gotta clean up some email. I don't know how long I'm gonna go today, just because I don't really want to stream that long. I kind of want to do some other stuff today. Um, so I'm looking at 2 hours, so we'll be probably done by about 11 a.m. That should give me a time to load into. Okay, so first off, let's start off with an announcement before I get too far into stream. Next Friday, I'm gonna go ahead and announce it on socials and Discord and all that. Which, by the way, we can go by that. I think that works. I don't know if it does, but it's in the chat. There we go. Shit. I don't know if all the stuff's sent out, but let me make sure real quick. Ooh, let me go ahead and send a ping to the Discord because I forgot to do that, or if it didn't do it automatically because I forgot to restart this. Because you have to restart this to ping Discord more than once, apparently. I don't know. Don't ask me how the internet works. I have no idea. Let me go to. Um, I forgot what I was doing, y'all. Oh yeah, events, Twitch. There it is. Okay, that worked. I heard that. Um, Siribot's here. Welcome in, Siribot. How is Siribot? No one ever checks in on Siribot. Have you had your water today, Siribot? This is the important questions. Okay. Um, all right. So a week from Friday. So that is 1 week from today. I'm gonna do kind of a Degen hour stream that launches into another year on Earth. Um, so that'll be fun. I'll be live. I'm gonna go live probably the normal time for like a night stream for me, which is somewhere between 8 and 9. But normally when I stream at night, I only stream for like 2.5 hours, at most 3. Um, However, for this one, we're gonna stream until about 2 to 3 a.m. I think I want to go to at least midnight Pacific time, so that way all the friends can come in and you know celebrate my birthday stream. I don't think I have any streaming friends in Hawaii. I will not stream on Saturday. That's the actual day of my birth, the 26th. Because it's college football Saturday, and I want to watch college football, roll up in a blanket, and eat pizza and drink beer. That's pretty much all I want to do for my birthday this year is just eat pizza and drink beer. So I'll probably just drink a whole 6 pack or something. I don't know. Did I just say I'm drinking beer? I'm getting drunk and eating pizza on my birthday? Probably. But sometimes that's the mood. And this has been a shitty year, so uh, not going into too much detail about it, but this has been a really shitty year for me. Um, so I'm going to celebrate very introvertedly, and we're going to do a low key stream. Um, Also, that's announcement one. Announcement two, and this might be related. If I got the new Mario Party game, and y'all can answer again in Discord or message me on socials, would anybody want to play it with me? It feels a weird game to play by yourself. So if you're down to collaborate with some Mario Party, I've never played it before. Let's do something. I probably have to reach out to people on my own if I really want to do this. So, um, I might get the game today. It releases today. So what if I just did a Mario Party stream on YouTube Shorts today? TikTok. I don't want to spoil it though. That's thing two. Thing three. As far as November streaming schedule, I am 100% not streaming on election day. So please go vote. If you're, it's too late if your jurisdiction does not have same day polling or same day registration. Mine does not. But do check to see if you're eligible to vote, and if you are eligible to vote, get out and go vote. And if you're not, see if you live in a place where you can do same day registration. Or we're still about 3 weeks out, so. And if that's the case, go ahead and get your registration in. Find your polling place. If you have a specific polling place. Also, research. I mean, a lot of times, okay, this is my political spiel. A lot of times, it's like people only focus on like the presidential and maybe even state elections, Senate, stuff like that, federal and state. In some instances, your local election might matter more. So just kind of see what your local candidates are running on. Just see what their platform is. See what their platform is. What the issues that matter to them. Because a lot of your day to day stuff happens at the local level. Especially like if you live in a bigger town that has actual tax money. A lot of small towns, I don't know if the local stuff matters as much because you're basically being upheld by the federal government anyways. But that's a different soapbox for a different day. But yeah, do research down ballot. Don't just copy and paste someone else's or whatever. But yeah, do like research the whole ticket. Obviously the presidential election matters. If I think it's your senates and Congress people matter too, but definitely do research on any local and that may be on your tip ballot, and then also like this is also a time they will try to shove through legislation like transit plans and stuff like that. So research the whole ballot, not just the presidential election. Because a lot of times, like if you have like a spending bill that's up for vote, like usually in Nashville, Nashville usually puts a transit bill on there this year, and I think there is one on there this year. I don't think I vote for it because I don't live in Nashville anymore, but I don't live in Nashville proper. But like I did last year, or like I did last time they had a transit vote, and I was probably one of 3 people who voted for it. Even though it was a stupid bill, I did it for the increased busing. It was a bad bill, but I voted for it anyways because I wanted to be. And then they ended up increasing the ride share anyways, and now I don't even get to use it because there's no bus line where I live. There is a train, but it's a commuter train for workers, basically. So I don't get to take advantage of that. Yeah, so that's the announcements. Go research to vote. I might put a command or something up that has links. I wish there was a way I could figure it out that's like national. Like where you can go and research. Like if you enter in your address, it'll tell you what districts and stuff, so you can look that stuff up. Because a lot of people don't know their congressional district, their state senates, and all that. That stuff's important, especially when you get closer to the local level. Like that stuff actually affects your day-to-day life more so than what the president does. And then also, like, don't be super pragmatic. Don't be super idealistic about the election either. Not everybody, your candidates aren't going to perfectly align with you. So if you're wanting that perfect candidate, you're not going to find it. So make trade-offs. I recommend not voting third party in the presidential election because you're basically throwing your vote in the trash. If you do that, you're actually voting against the candidate you probably see more eye to eye with anyways. So if there's a candidate that you would prefer, go ahead and vote for him. If you don't have a preference, then yeah, throw your vote in the trash. But or if you are like a libertarian or something, yeah, vote for third party. But like if there's someone you don't want to see win, vote for the other person. It's not that hard. Particularly while we still have the two party. Well, we're still dominated by two parties, which I think we will be pretty much forever. Because you follow the money, and the money right now is in the Democrat and Republican tickets. It's not so much in the Green Party. Don't vote Green Party, please. Don't vote Green Party unless you really, really are a Green Party person. I think it's a scam. Jill Stein only pops up on election years. Okay, that's my politics spiel for the day. We won't talk about it any further. Your politics are yours. We're going to finish today. We're going to go ahead and start. We're going to start with the 1970 playoffs. We did not make the playoffs. Obviously, we finished 30 games out. And remember, in these days, there's no wild card. The wild card, again, did not come into effect until 1994. Technically 95. I think it was 94 was the first year of the wild card, but no one made it because there was no playoffs. But technically it's 95. First wild card team in the National League was the Colorado Rockies. There's your hint of trivia for you. I don't remember who it was in the AL. I think it may have been the Yankees. The Yankees and Rockies, I think, were the first wild cards. All right, so obviously regular season ends. We did not make the playoffs. How do I read all messages? There we go. I don't know why. In real life, I am not zero inbox. In video games, we clear the inbox. Owner's upset. So we're going to look at the League Championship Series now. We're going to go ahead and look at that. So we have the Twins and Red Sox. The Twins are an interesting one. I think they're a fairly new franchise. Are they? And they have Woody Held on their team, and he is about okay. He only played 27 plate appearances for us, so he didn't do much. He looks like he's slugged a little bit, but he's able to get on first base. So that's why he's probably hitting at the top of the order for them. Bob Oliver, Rick Dempsey, Rod Carew. Oh, this is just their depth chart. This is just their depth. This isn't their overall lineup. They have Yaz, Felipe Alou, Petrocelli. Here's a name for you. Oh, wait a minute. I got to cover my camera. Ken Harrelson, y'all. You might recognize that name if you're a baseball fan. That is Hawk Harrelson, the longtime announcer for the White Sox. He looks like he was a good player. He looks like he was a good player, too. You can put it on the board. So, yes, Hawk Harrelson is in OOTP in this save. Carlton Fisk, George Shotsky, Gene Oliver. Mike Nagy, Jim York, Ken Brett, Dick Elder. And then these are the pitchers for them. And then over here, Fred Gladding, who we had. So we made trades to a playoff contender. It looks like in this series, it's a contrast of styles in the ALCS. Both successful, obviously. Both won 95 games. The Twins are 6th in offense, 1st in pitching. Red Sox are 1st in runs scored and 9th in runs allowed. So, really, and when we can do division on this to figure out what the key to the series is, right? 1st in runs scored, 1st in runs allowed. They cancel each other out. It becomes Who will Boston's pitching be able to stop Minnesota's offense? Will Minnesota be able to manufacture runs against a weak pitching staff? I think that's the key to the series. If these two cancel each other out, you're going to have a 7-game series. If, like, for instance, Boston's able to light up Minnesota's staff, it's over. On the other side, these teams are very similar styles. Houston third in the NL in runs. Pittsburgh is second. Houston is sixth, and Pittsburgh is tied for fourth, so right above them. So they're basically the same. Key names for here are Joe Morgan, Larry Boa. They have Larry Dierker, who is a Cy Young candidate. Over on the other side, we see Doc Ellis, Bob Moose, Dave Roberts, all great pitchers. Maury Wills, Bill Mazeroski, Willie Stargell, Roberto Clemente, and they have Matty Alou on this side. That is part of the Alou dynasty, which, okay. So, this could be an interesting World Series. Obviously, I think we don't have the Big Red Machine yet, so that's later on in the 70s. So what we'll do is we'll finish today. And we have Game 1 in Boston. Dave Goelz and Dick Ellsworth. And Minnesota wins, or Boston wins 4-2. So, as we can see, early returns, it looks like Red Sox pitching has the advantage. We can look at the box score. And it was a complete game for Goelz. Ellsworth only went 6-2. Looks like, yep. All right, we'll finish today. And now we have Game 2 also in Boston. And it goes to Boston by the same score. Merritt defeats Lyle. Yaz and Petrocelli had home runs. And then out here, we'll go ahead and go Houston Astros over Pittsburgh 4-0. Larry Dierker defeats Bob Moose. Colbert homered. All right, so... And then it's an off day in the ALCS, I believe. Yep. And then they will head to Minneapolis, Game 2 in Pittsburgh. This is a best of 5, by the way. I'd forgotten about it. It's also best of 5. I don't know when the LCS became best of 7. It may have been 95, but I don't know when it became best of 7. Y'all may not know this, but the World Series used to be best of 9. Best of 9, y'all. Best of 9 used to be the LCS. Okay. So we'll simulate Game 2. We're assimilating the... And we have a 1-1 tie here. So 6-5. Canton defeats Locker. Looks like it was a bullpen game as both pitchers struggled. It looks like it came down to a 12th inning. So it was a 12-inning game. The Pirates walked it off. All right, so now we go, let's see. We'll go ahead and finish today. Now we have Game 3 in Minneapolis. This is an elimination game. Jim Perry is who Minnesota is prancing out, and then against Gary Bell, who has an ERA of 5. So this could very well. Boston's just, hey, we're wheeling out our worst starter. Good luck. Twins win 2-1. Looks like Kelly hit a home run. Gladden got the save. And we'll go ahead and finish that out. Game 4 today. So the Twins can have a chance. They're going with Dean Chance, a solid pitcher, 15-game winner, against Ken Brett, who started 37 games, 16 games won, ERA nearly 4. Who will and the Twins are rallying, so they took the 2 games at home, got home runs from Killebrew and Soderholm. Fred Gladding with another save. He was not great for them, but he got 5 saves. He's their closer. And then out here, it's a 1-1 tie. Game 3 in Houston, Bruce Kyson against Mike Queller. I guess that's Pittsburgh wins. So Pittsburgh 2-1 lead. We have a Game 5 out in that's Game 5. That'll be out in Houston. This is now the Pittsburgh's chance. Dave Roberts, 13-game winner, 31 starts, had 200 innings, against Don Wilson, who is a pretty good strikeout pitcher. Won 13 games, ERA mid-3, about league average. We'll sim that, and we have 2 Game 5s. We have 2 Game 5s. We have 2 Game 5s, so this first Game 5 is now a rematch of Game 1, I think. Mike Nagy and Jim Merritt. Yeah, it looks like I would definitely give the advantage to Minnesota pitching-wise, but we knew that already. Can Boston hit enough? They in the 2 games they've won, they've scored 4. Boston is and then in the 2 games the Boston's offense has been kind of shut down. 4 runs, 4 runs, 2 runs, 4 runs. They've only scored 5, 8, 13 runs in 4 games. So they're only averaging like 3 runs a game, which is not a great number. So definitely a good job by Minnesota's pitching to offset the offense a little bit. They scored 955 runs in the offseason, so that's about 5 runs a game. That's a lot of runs, by the way, in any era. Let's go ahead and simulate this. It looks like, okay, so what ended up happening, they got Minnesota in a shootout. It looks like they won that. Boston is heading to the World Series. Dick Ellsworth took the win. We'll look at the box score. Gladding blew the save. And then Hall also. So Minnesota had the lead, it looks like. Let's see. It's 4-1 after 2, 4-4 after 4. 5-4 in the 7th. Boston came back with 2. And they won on a 10th inning something. I don't know how they won, but Yaz won the MVP. He hit 444 with 2 home runs. Petrocelli had a 368 with 2 home runs, 5 RBI too. So yeah, what ended up happening in Game 5? 8 runs scored. Minnesota couldn't keep up. And then we'll finish today, I think, yeah. We have now Game 5 in the National League. So we have Boston advancing against either Houston or the Pittsburgh Pirates. Larry Dierker, Bob Moose. So we have the Aces. and Pittsburgh. So Matty Alou was the MVP here. We'll look at the box score. 4-0. Houston had 4 hits. Bob Moose outpitched Larry Durker, and that was pretty much it. Matty Alou had 2 hits, was the series MVP. All right, so that sets up now the World Series between Boston and Pittsburgh. I'm personally going to give the advantage to Pittsburgh in this series. And that's just because pitching. Now, yeah, there is no DH advantage. Because remember, the DH did not exist until 1973. So we're still a couple of ways from the DH. It's a 7-game set. We will start game 1 on October 12th. We do have the draft pool announcement coming up, so we'll take a look at that. We'll finish today. We have game 1, Ken Brett for Boston against Doc Ellis. Does it have in his history that he... okay, we don't have a history yet. But I believe this is the Doc Ellis who threw a no-hitter on LSD. The 70s were a wild time, y'all. The 70s were a wild time as Pittsburgh wins 9-3. Again, I do give the advantage a little bit to Pittsburgh here because they actually can pitch a little bit. Game 1 goes to Pittsburgh, 9-3. Not a particularly close game. It looks like reading the box score here. It looks like they only had 2 RB. Oh, that's Boston. Oliver, Hebner, Anderson had multiple RBIs. Oliver had 4 hits. Yeah. Game 2, Pittsburgh 14-11. So a shootout. Pittsburgh was up 8-3 after the 3rd, and then Boston came back to tie it in the 8th. No. Boston came all the way back. So the Boston came all the way back. It was 8-2 after the 3rd. They score 9 runs. So it was 11-11 in the 8th inning, and then that's what happened there. McCormick with the blown save win, and something called a Roy Face with a save. He's retiring at the end of the year. Can we get Roy Face a World Series, y'all? He's retiring. He is 42, y'all. 42. All right, so we'll finish today. Game 3 is tomorrow, and we're going to look at the draft pool. We should be picking pretty high, so we should get the player we want. Hopefully I do a better job picking this year than I did last year. Okay. So today's the draft pool announcement. We'll take a look at that. Looks like it's... in terms of players to get, Mike Schmidt, George Brett, Sixto Lezcano, Ron Guidry, Jim Rice, Mike Ivy, Bert Hooten, Bill Matlock, Steve Boosby, and Steve Rogers are the top players. Looking at the draft pool, Mike Caldwell is the best player in this draft by a large margin. If he's available for me when I pick, I will pick him. We do draft second. We are mocked to get George Brett. Again, we know George Brett is good, but I really want to get Bert Hooten here. He ended up having a very good career for the Dodgers. Ended up winning 150 games. for 3 teams. Bert Hooton is the highest rated player in the draft. Steve Boosby and Jim Kimmel, all pitchers, but potential wise, we're looking at my scouts ratings. He does not love, apparently. Oh, I've got him sorted by work ethic. Let's clear the filters. There we go. Yeah, George Brett, Caldwell, Jim Rice, Schmidt, Guidry, Henderson, Mike Ivy. So, signability goes, it looks like our draft order, we do have a $49,000 slot. But this might be, I think this might be the most talent I've seen in the draft. Where's the draft pool again? I think this is the most amount of talent I've seen in the draft. There's multiple 5-stars here. We'll be able to sign one of George Brett. Well, we may not be able to get George Brett, but Jim Ryan, Mike Schmidt will be easy to sign for us. He's already a 2.5-star player. He's already got big league power. He's got high work ethic, low intelligence. Other players we want to keep an eye on, but we do have our filter here. The clear one for us will be Mike Caldwell, who is a lefty with very good stuff, very good control. He's not great at limiting contact, but he is good at keeping the ball on the ground. I wonder if I can get... We're going to add him. We're going to get a better scouting report on him. We don't have a great scouting report on him. Other players I want to take a look at are Bill. Well, we have a good one on Bill Madlock. Also, Steve Rogers. He's high, but we could get a higher one. Also, another one is Dane Eorg, but he doesn't really fit what I want in a first baseman. He doesn't hit for power. So I'm not even going to worry about him. But yeah, it looks like we got a pretty good draft pool. We do pick second. All right, so going back to playoffs, we're at Game 3 of the World Series. Pittsburgh's up 2-0, and they go back to Boston for 3. So if Boston wants to show some life, they will not do it in Game 2 as they get blown off the field. McCormick beats Sandy Lyle, Sparky Lyle. I don't know where I got Sandy Lyle from. Actually, no. Oh, Moose beats Nagy, 9-2. Nagy gave up 6 runs in 3 innings. Boozer gave up a bunch of runs. Big run producer here. Middle of the order, pretty much all down the board. And Boston was able to muster 8 hits, but weren't able to do anything with those hits. All right, let's review the draft pool. We just did this. I do have my work ethic filter in, but we clear that and we see a bunch of really good players. We got George Brett. He's from West Virginia. Oh, should we play the George Brett video about him crapping his pants? I have a couple scouting reports requested. One on Mike Caldwell. And we also have one on Bert Hooton. These 2 pitchers are going to be, could be good gets for me. I kind of want to get my pitching good. And they'll be able to play right away, I think, pretty much. Yeah, like there won't be any minor league time for those two. Um, anyways, let's go ahead and finish today. We do have Game 4 in Boston. It's been kind of a rout so far. Two blowouts and then one where Boston tried to come back, but they were unable to. Boston avoids the sweep with a 5-0 shutout. Dick Ellsworth had a fine outing. And now we hit to Game 5, also in Boston. It's the 3-1 lead. We all know how 3-1 leads go sometimes, particularly in basketball. But it might happen here. It's now 3-2. So Boston took 2 out of 3 at home. So the advantage is Pittsburgh. They only have to win one of these 2 games, and the curse of the curse of the Bambino will continue in this mode as well. Game 6, we have Gary Bell and Bruce Kyson, and we'll finish today, I think. Yeah, and we'll finish the 19th. All right, so we have a couple emails to read here. Okay, Mike Caldwell is a 4.5-star player. He's from North Carolina. He has the tart and then 2 to 4. So he has a little bit more. He has a little bit more development. He is a 4-star prospect. He can hit a little bit. He's not as good as Caldwell. So I still think I should have Caldwell at the top of my board. He ended up going to San Diego, where he was merely okay. He did pitch. He did win. He did start 400 games. Won 130 of them. He played for the Brewers, Cincinnati, the Giants, the Padres. Looks like he struggled a bit in 71. Actually, no, he looks like he started in 71. So he's pretty much a straight to the big leagues candidate. We'll finish. Let's see, playoff coverage. We have Game 6 today. We'll go ahead and sim that. And the Pirates win the World Series. Richie Hebner's the MVP. Kyson defeated Bill. The Pittsburgh won the 1970 World Series. And we'll see how 1970 went IRL. Boston, but it was Baltimore and Minnesota, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. So not quite true to real life, but and this one, the Expos were 73 and 89. And yeah. Yeah. So it looks like the Expos in this run were a little worse. So yeah. So that's the World Series. The Red Sox are the champions, or the Pirates are the champions. We'll finish today. We'll go ahead and get started on the off season. All right. So the first thing we're gonna do. This is gonna be an important off season for us because we really have a chance to get some talent on our team. And then also we got to rebuild our minor league organization. I kind of forgot about it last season, and I got some bad coaches. So, not a very good score. We know that. Development facilities open. Off-season prospect list. I don't think I have any top prospects. The minor league systems, we have the 11th best farm system. DeCinces is now a 3-star, but he is the 15th overall prospect. Brian Cusino, who we picked up in a trade, is the 58th overall prospect. Vic Harris is in AAA. Might see some action in the big leagues next year. He should be down in AA, but and then Jeff Turpko is the 71st. And then Dave Rosello is 77 overall. So we've got some pretty decent pieces. The one thing I want to look at is going to my player list. I want to look at potential. It now looks like Bill Sudeikis is a 3.5-star player. As he's pretty much developed out. I think we had the AI preventing him from doing anything. It looks like, 3.5 stars over on potential approve. Gene Garber and Aurelio Lopez are 3.5-star. Jim Barr is a 2.5-star with a 3.5-star potential. And then the rest of our team is as follows. Anybody who's definitely 3-star or higher. Catfish Hunter's a 3-star now. I do want to get his development going, so we're going to prevent the AI from looking at him. He is a 80 stamina, so we're not going to develop that at all. His control is 45. So we're going to keep developing that. And then we're going to develop his movement. I'm not worried about his stuff. His stuff is fine. We're going to maintain development and get his movement score up. So we're going to develop his control a little bit and his movement a lot because his home run allowed is kind of high. We want to get that going. That is something we want to address in the offseason. And then we're going to look down the organization. AAA, we don't have any 3-stars down there, even though we do have some high 2-stars, which I'm not going to micromanage those. Pete Makinen is hitting down in AA. He kind of struggled a bit in AA. The A-ball, Jesus De La Rosa, and John Scott. What happened to... Oh, okay. He's down in this league. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna look at his development. What does he need still work on? Gap power is solid, so we'll actually develop down gap power and probably try to get the rest of his game up. We'll develop down gap power and worry about his batting eye, get that going, and then his BABIP. His overall contact. I'm not as worried about avoiding strikeouts, though his is kind of low. So we'll throw. Yeah. And again, we don't really care about running a defense. We are going to promote him up though to AA. He should be in he should be maybe even in maybe AA. Where should we put him? He played very well in A-ball. So we're going to keep him in Watertown for now, until he can prove that he can hit an A ball, or until he can kind of. Well, actually, wait. Yeah, we'll start him in A ball, and then we'll kind of get him up, and then yeah, Pete Mackinnon, we'll have him down in A ball. We'll worry about this later. I will kind of manage my prospects a little later. New budget, $3 million. We're gonna have a team payroll about 3.2, and then also we extended my contract, which that's fire. I can't be fired, so buzz off. I will end this dynasty on my own. Thank you, franchise on my own. So injury list, we got to review that. We just got to pull G. Michael off the injured list. Vote for awards. I could not care less. We will submit a blank ballot. And then check development complex. This is where I want to look at players we can develop. So we're going to look at our prospects. Doug DeSenses. We want to throw him in. Actually, let's do our big league team first. Let's do our big league team. Jim Barr. Does he have work ethic? Yes, he does. So let's see what he can develop. I want him to improve on, if we can get his stuff improved, but injury prevention, improved pitch arsenal. What about increased velocity? Well, he's a finesse pitcher. Let's go with secondary pitch improvement. We'll do that. That's easy. He should be able to improve his pitches. Okay. Bill Sudeikis. Okay, he's not going to go do anything. Let's see. What about Catfish Hunter? He's developed out, but let's go ahead and put him in. Let's see if we can, what we can improve with him. Remember, control's his big thing, so we're going to improve his control. Okay. We only have 5 spots, so I'm trying to be vigilant about who I choose. I won't choose anybody that's below 2.5 stars. Let's see. And I want to choose ones that we can have success with, too. See, Jack Billingham. Does he have work ethic? No. And Andy Etchenbarren he's a fan favorite. Ed Figueroa. Let's see if we can put him in. He's got the same issue that, can we improve his, yeah. And then, what about Darrell Thomas? Yeah, let's get Darrell Thomas. Improve defense in center field. Okay. And then who are some other key figures that I want on the team for years to come? Tim Foley, 19-year-old. Let's see if we can get his offense developed. We're going to teach him gap power. And then finally, we'll pick a prospect And the prospect we would choose is obviously going to be DeSenses. And the one he's really got to work on. Let's see if we can get him to improve contact. Maybe plate discipline. What about strength and condition? That's power. Contact. So what? Yeah, we'll do that. So this is our practice facility. And then let's take a look also at the trading block. All players. Andy Etchenberry we have on the trading block. Tito Francona, who is 36, so I'm not going to trade for him. Gary Geiger, who is 33, has power, but Manny Jimenez hit Ulander, Dick Lyons. So there's not a lot on the trading block. Shouldn't be anything on the waiver. Let's check the free agency. See if there's any players. Some players have been released. Jesus Alu. An interesting player for us. He was not good in AAA. Did not hit for much power. Anybody else? Ed Cranepool. Pretty good defensive prospect here, but not much of a hitter. And that kind of fleshes out. Mostly corner outfielders. As we look at our team right now, our biggest need as we look at, we'll just look at this by catcher. Catcher, we're fine. Etchenberry will be our catcher next year. We'll probably figure out what to do with, say, Jackie Hernandez. He'll probably end up, this will be the battle there. First base, we have Bill Sudeikis and Bill Robinson, who is a solid utility guy. He did hit, well, he was okay. And then we got a few other players who can play there. Second base, we want to improve at second base. Right now I have Gene Michael, who played 146 games and was minus 2.4 WAR. So that is definitely a sore spot for us that we've got to improve. We lost 3 wins at second base this year. Third base, we went with Bobby Brooks for most of the year. He kind of struggled offensively, but he was still a 1.1 win player because of his overall defense. So we want to improve third base. We could move Bill Robinson over there, but he's a liability on defense, and he's only average at power. Rick Blott, who is not great. But he is a good defensive third baseman. And we could potentially move Danny Walton there, but he's a right fielder who honestly didn't really hit for us very well. Shortstop, we're going to run with Tim Foley next year. He had a strong season with 2.5 wins at 19. He hit 12 home runs. Really decent number there. If we can get his offensive numbers better. So left field, we're going to go with one of these 4. But we are going to start ads soon. So we have a solid core here of potential left fielders. Brooks Lahoud, Scheinblum, who didn't play well for us, but center field, we're going to go with Darrell Thomas. Solid 1.1 win. We got to get his defense improved, but he's going to be a solid contact hitter. And we'll probably have Cesar Geronimo on the big league roster as well. Right field's the same as the other. Pitching staff, starting rotation has a chance to be pretty good. Howard, Figueroa, Billingham, Catfish Hunter, and Jim Barr. And then our bullpen, I'm really excited about Garber, Arosa, about these five. Turco might start in the minors. And our closer, we don't have a closer. We don't use a closer. So we have a decent team, I think. We just got to improve some key positions. I'm going to run some ads. I will be back in 3 minutes. I'm going to go get me some coffee. Oops, I hit the wrong button. We'll be back in 3 minutes. I'm running some ads. All right. I'm so sorry y'all had to sit through ads. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's make sure all my audios are good. I never ever check this. Okay, it's good. I think it's good. Ow. What screen was I on? This one. Oh wait. Here. Cancel. Okay. So we were just looking at kind of where our team is, and our biggest needs as far as like pressing are going to be in the infield. So particularly second and third base. I think we're going to be fine in the outfield as we develop, but let's look at I want to look at the draft pool and the trading block. So let's go to the offseason center. Obviously free agent. So we're gonna go to infielders. Well, infielders, and we can see usually. Okay, we're probably not going to be able to really improve on this too much. I don't see a lot here, unfortunately. Like a bunch of players we could sign on minor league deals. But as we look at the draft, right? As we look at the draft, where is that at? Rookie draft? Draft pool? Oh, we fit. We draft sixth, actually. So we draft sixth, so we may miss out on some of the top prospects. The Padres have 2 picks in the top 4. That's gross. Yeah. And they have other picks. They have 3 first-round picks. Where are my picks at? What are the draft rules? Oh, okay. They may have gotten comp. They may have gotten some comp picks, but draft pool for us infielders. George Brett would solve our third base problem. And then maybe someone like a Bob Baylor could help us out at second. He's 70 rated at second. Obviously, he would help us out in the future. That would not be a current signing. There's a name for you. Well, let's go. I forget that in this game, I probably should move my camera to the other side. Let's do that, actually. Well, that's not the screen I want. For OOTP, I need to move my camera to the other side. I should just make a scene for this game. I should just make an OOTP scene. Because I would have to have the camera on a different side, and I probably have to mirror it too, right? But this is... I'll drop the cam. I should have it in the top right. Ron Washington. So, for all you Braves fans, he was a coach there when they were good. He's been a manager. I think he's managing now. And then if we sort this through our filter, Bill Madlock would be a good get at third base. Not a lot going on, unfortunately. Bob Baylor, Rob Gilbert, Dave Eorg, Greg Pryor would be a good first baseman candidate. So yeah, that's where we're at. Unfortunately, not a lot going on. And then on the trading block, there's no infielders on the. Well, that's not our filter. So there's no infielders on the trading block. It's all outfielders, and none of them are better than who we currently have. So we don't have a lot of options right now. What we could do is look at. So we're just gonna have to sim a few days. Let's go ahead and sim through the end of October. As I see, okay, the trading block has developed a little bit. Ed Charles is here, who is not a good defender, so I'm not going to make a move for him. I am putting a little bit of a premium on run prevention right now. I just spilled coffee on my TwitchCon hoodie. Go me. I can't have nice things. He was worth 1.2 WAR for the Mets. I might let me request a scouting report on him. Take a week on him. Let's see. Any other players Ted Sizemore. Unfortunately, he's a disruptive player. Let's see. Who else? We could sort these, I guess. Bob Johnson of the Mets. The Mets are trading off, it looks like. He was not good for the Mets in 1970, so even though, it shouldn't matter, Tom Tresh, we traded him at the deadline last year. We might trade it for him back. We know what we're getting. We know what we're getting. He's also 33. So maybe not him. Charlie Smith of the Phillies. He's not really great. He doesn't really do anything well. Ted Sizemore, we looked at him. Don Mincher, he can only play first base and he's disruptive personality. Yeah. So we're gonna get a scouting report on Ed Charles, the 37-year-old. He is 37. I just saw that. So maybe if we don't have to give up too much to get him. So we'll go ahead and sim through. We'll start looking at the trading block. Actually, let's look at the Gold Gloves. Rated 2.5. Complete scouting report. Lane and athletic. He's from Florida. Slow runner. Eye average. Modest production. Okay, so no real earth-shattering stuff there on Ed Charles. So we probably won't trade for him right now. I don't really like our candidates here, especially since I'm having to give up stuff. And I don't really. Glenn Beckert is here of the Padres, and really good contact hitter, but that's about it. He doesn't really bring a whole lot else to the table. Let's see. Let me just sort by infield. Let me just sort by second base. Yeah. Don Wirt of the Yankees. He was a two-win player. Average third baseman. I mean, he would be an upgrade over what we have now. But at 32, will he continue? Yeah. My concern is the below average power. If he had average power, I'd probably trade for him even at 30. At 32, that's not a bad player. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that. Let's see who won the reliever of the year. Let's see who won the Great Glove. Let's go back to off-season. Let me see. I sneezed, y'all. We didn't have any Gold Glovers. Don Wirt was a Gold Glover. Eddie Leon, Sal Bondo, Carlton Fix. No, nothing. Let's see. Wes Parker. He has adopted Buddhism. While typically a change of religion wouldn't be hot news, the improvement that Wes Parker has made on the field seems to be directly related to his off-season conversion. I don't know what it is, said Parker, but since I converted, I noticed it easier to relax and concentrate. I can focus on the ball and keep my cool. Dodgers manager Brian Monzo says, this guy's a whole new player. I wouldn't have believed if I'd seen it. He went from kind of a hothead to a cool as a cucumber. And I'm looking as year to year. Like, he's fundamentally the same player. Like, in fact, he's worse. like, what did he do differently? Like, I don't know if he did anything differently. He is, he had 25 more RBI. He had more strikeouts. So he played 30 more games. I guess that's it. He played 30 more games. I guess his personality changed. Trading block, again, no changes there. Let's get a scouting report on Glenn Beckert. Let's request one on him. And maybe one on Don Wirt. Let's see what they've got. Because I do have to improve those two positions. And Don Wirt would be a third base upgrade, even though he can't hit for power, which is something that would be a real good thing for a third baseman to do. Let's also check in on our player development after a couple weeks. Jim Barr is excelling a little bit into his program. Catfish Hunter's on track, and everybody else is kind of frustrated. Story of my life. We're all frustrated to some degree. Let's go ahead and look at oh, shoot. Okay, 2.5, 30-yard second baseman. November 1st. All right, well, there's one thing we got to do, and I forgot to do this earlier. Personnel, organization, front office, personnel. I think we're fine on some of these. Okay, he sucks. He sucks. He sucks. Where are all my talented... Let me see. Oh, goodness. Do I have any good... Okay, so we have Randy Bean, who's a pretty good pitching coach. And then Jaden Harvey's a really good manager down there in West Palm Beach. Greg Spalding sucks. So I want to look at free agent personnel. How do I'm struggling here. Offseason center, personnel. I don't have any openings, so we're going to have to go up. Okay. I see. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. We have some... Let's look at free agent personnel. We have 5 good candidates here who have excellent... Like, I'm looking at Jason Alatorre. And... So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at my personnel. Okay. And we're going to fire our, I believe it's, Randy Bean's a good pitching coach for this A team. Tony Guardado is not a good hitting coach or pitching coach. He is fair at teaching pitching. We will fire him. Okay. And then the corresponding move here is we're going to place an offer for uh-oh. There we go. Okay, so he has no interest. Well, that sucks. Okay, so we gotta look at the... Okay. We may have to go with Slick Castleman here, who's a little better. He's okay at teaching pitching and okay at mechanics. That would be an upgrade, and what I'm going to do is offer him a contract, but for only 1 year. And his relationships with his relationship would be average. He would have a bad relationship with Michael Graham, but he's only a 1-star player. I should just go ahead and fire them all and see if I can just get better coaches. So we're going to do that. I think we should just overhaul the coaching staff. It doesn't look like we're going to get much, but let's go back to our team. front office personnel. Danny Guarini is okay at development. I think if what we'll do for now is look at like, okay, he's okay at development. He's only fair at mechanics, but he's pretty poor at everything else. We'll keep him along for now. This is Charlie Olier. He's okay at hitting, okay at mechanics. That's about as good as I got right now. Hitting coach who's only poor. All right, so we're going to fire Alvardo Leyba. Okay. Go ahead and fill his position real quick. Looks like Butch Sutcliffe is probably the only one who would be a good one, or even, yeah. Or even, well, yeah, maybe even, so Butch Sutcliffe will be the option here. We'll go ahead and offer contract. We'll give him 3 years. Again, yeah, I mean, let's go 2 years. We'll do 2 years with him. Because I don't want to, like, okay, so pending offer, Randy Bean, Jaden Harvey, they're good. Now in this A-League, we got J.R. Slavin, who's a hitting coach who is only fair at teaching hitting and not good at development, so we're going to fire him real fast. We might get a better candidate. We already have Butch Sutcliffe. Honestly, let's go with Leo Wells here. We'll go ahead and offer him a contract for 2 years. These aren't great options. I wish I had better options, but this is unfortunately the best I can get. Mike Lamar, pitching coach, poor at teaching pitching, so we're going to fire this guy. And again, we want to look at teaching pitching. We have an average teaching pitching, fair at development, poor at mechanics. I think I'm going to go with Harry Dorvish here, who is, while only okay, he's a little bit better at mechanics. So we're going to go ahead and offer him a contract for 2 years. And then how about Greg Spalding? He's fair at development, he's fair at development, poor at mechanics. I want to see at this level because of the amount of like variance we have. This is something I want to look at. Alejandro Billington. Okay at development, okay at mechanics. This is going to be the guy. We're going to offer him for 3 years. Again, these aren't great. These aren't great. These aren't your ideal candidates. But going to Double A, it looks like okay, but he's poor at teaching hitting. So we're going to fire him. He would probably be a better manager. He would be a better manager than hitting coach. So we're going to go ahead and fire him. No, we're not going to offer him an extension. We're going to fire him. And then we have the vacant job there. And we got some better candidates here. It looks like we've offered Johnny. Who do we have a pending offer on? Yeah, we're going to offer Johnny Gerlach here. I didn't get any notifications about people retiring, so I don't have that option yet to like make my players coaches and hire them. That's something I want to do. I wish I could force people to retire, so that way I could just go ahead and hire them. Maybe if I got into commissioner mode, I could do it. But okay, so that fills that job. John Campbell here in Double A. Again, poor at everything, so you don't need to exist for us. So we got that spot. We have some guys who are average. We have Elijah Davis, Dave Geeter, and Bert Kaczynski. I think for this, it looks like Elijah Davis will be the answer here, and he's actually not a bad option. So we're going to offer him a contract for $7,500. And then Adam Hafner, who is poor, we're going to go ahead and fire him as well and hire someone new there. And again, here, my main thing is development and mechanics. So handle development. We have Dave Blake, who is average. Maybe, well, we got Billington already. I want to see about, let's see, Johnny Eccles is okay. So we may go with Dave Blake here as the manager. Oh, shit. He does not want the job I'm offering. The Double A manager. There. Double A manager. He wants 3 years. We'll give him 3 years. Because we can always fire people when they become available. And now we're going to go up to AAA. And we're going to go ahead and keep Eric Cromer. He's okay. He's okay. He's only fair at that stuff. But looking at the market, it looks like we're going to fire Eli Sanchez, though. We're going to fire Eli Sanchez. And we already have... we're going to go ahead and go with Dave Geeter here. I don't think I've offered him yet. And then Sean Kundert. Again, we're going to go ahead and fire... We're firing our manager after an 83-win season. Because this is me saying, you know what? Development matters more than your ability to win games. So, we already have an offer for him. I think we already have an offer for Eccles, too. We do not have an offer for Eccles. Maybe David Stoves. Actually, David Stoves would be a good one here. Do we are? He might already have. Yeah, David Stoves. We'll offer him the job of manager. AAA manager. And then let's look at our big league. Let's look at our big league situation now. Our big league personnel. I think we're good on this front. Let's see. Francisco Duarte is our scouting director. He's got a poor reputation. Yeah, that's fine. We picked him anyways. Let's see. Nate Tyner has done he has only average relationships, though, and he has a poor relationship with our best player. So he will bench coach Chris Goldberg. He doesn't have any poor relationships with anyone, but he's got good relationships with at least a few guys. Our batting coach, or Dan Owens is our pitching coach. He has average relationships, but he's got good relationships with most of my pitchers. Armando Mora, he doesn't have a great relationship with him. Um, James Breton, average relationships with pretty much all of our players, so that's pretty good. Um, and then base coaches, average. Average. And then the team trainer is J.R. Parker, who. Yeah, so we got. I'm not worried about our coaches. Our scouting directors. He does not place a lot of valuation on stats. Okay. So we'll go ahead and sim through. Oh, we have a rookie of the year. Nice. And we got the Steam achievement for it. Holy cow. I wasn't even thinking about him as a rookie of the year. He had 12 home runs, 50 runs, 40 runs scored. Jim Barr finished third. Bruce Kyson was second. That's interesting. Like, did he do anything in? Oh, this guy was a sub replacement level player for pretty much multiple. He did end up playing for Montreal IRL, but he did not do much. And so we had three rookies in the top 5 for rookie of the year. All right, moving on. Manager of the year. Who got that? Probably the teams who won the World Series. Shepard Larry was the Pirates, and Dick Williams for the Red Sox. So it was the 2 teams in the World Series. All right, here we go. Don Wirt, 32-year-old, 2.5 star, defensive asset, league average at the plate, solid investment if he can continue to develop it. So he's on the trading block. Let's see what it would take to get him. We could have him for like a Mike Baldwin, for instance, right? And his 1.35 ERA. Like, I think that's a trade worth making. I mean, I can give up any of these 2-star relievers. I think relievers are getting. I think the thing I'm realizing is relievers are pretty easy to get. So if we can get an everyday player for so I'm gonna go ahead and throw in Mike Baldwin here, and let's see what other players we can get. If we can steal from the Yankees, that would be great. We'll look at their prospects, like Royal Stillman. He's not great, but all right. And what I'm looking for particularly is work ethic. So like Lloyd Coulson. He's got stuff to work with. He's a fly ball pitcher though, which still does not play well at our park. Stanton Evan Hughes. Let's see if we can throw him in. That's basically yeah. Jim Kennedy. Okay, let's pick up Jim Kennedy while we're at it. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and bleed the Yankees dry here. What about Timothy O'Connell? He's humble, but he doesn't quite have the work ethic attribute. Uh, um, okay. I think I'm fine with this. Wirt, Evan Hughes, and Jim Kennedy for Mike Baldwin. And we'll put Don Wirt on the 40. Okay, so we made a trade. So we at least have like someone who can hit for league average at short. Let's see. We'll go ahead and sim through. We got the first year player draft coming up as well. Let's look at the trading block. It might get a little better. Dick McCullough. Let's get a scouting report on him. Because he was a good player for Detroit. Sam Bowens, low intelligence. Let's look at infielders. I'm mainly concerned with getting better in the infield. We've had Dick Schofield on our team before. As well as Tom Tresh. And these players are basically... Yeah. But he's 35, so we don't want to trade for a 35-year-old player if we can help it. And then the other player is... yeah, he's 30, so... Tom Tresh is 33. Okay. Let's go ahead and sim through. We have the draft coming up, so we're going to do that. Let's go ahead and start the draft. These are the top players. Looks like it's changed a little bit, but let's go ahead and go in. We do pick 6th. This is a 44-round draft, so the number of rounds keeps going down. We're going to go all players with work ethic. Mike Caldwell is still the best player here. We'll see. We'll see. Auto draft for Chicago. They take Ron Guidry. Good pick, looks like. He's going to need some development time, but he's already got the stuff to pitch at the big league level. He just needs to develop his the rest of his game. Kansas City up second. They take Steve Rogers, who we had an eye on him. 5-star overall prospect. Again, he's got the movement. He's already as good as he's going to get at limited contact. He needs to work on his ground ball, fly ball, and his control. San Diego picks 3rd, and they take George Brett. We know George Brett's a Hall of Famer. I think we play the video. So I'm going to pull up the video of George Brett. I hope I don't get DMCA'd for this, but we're going to pull up the George Brett video. He was drafted. Hold on. Okay. So what we're going to do is pull up this here. Let's escape. Let's go over here with it. It's kind of grainy, but let me see. Okay. And then what we'll do is set up our sound also. I've got, there we go. We're going to play this.
I shit my pants last night. I shit my pants last night.
It's kind of grainy, but
I shit my pants last night.
this is a 10-year-old video.
I shit my pants last night. I did. Fucking shit my pants. I had a great meal. Just a great fucking meal. I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I fucking shit my pants. I had a great meal. Just a great fucking meal. I had to go to the bathroom so bad. I fucking shit my pants. When was the last time you shit your pants? Been a while? I'm good twice a year for that.
I don't know what this part is.
I was in Vegas a couple of years ago, staying at the Bellagio. I went over to Mirage for dinner and met some friends of mine. Went to Kokomo's. The guy brings out some fresh crab legs. He said, these just came in, I gotta give them to you guys. I'm eating them, then we gambled. I'm walking back to the hotel, and all of a sudden I go, oh fuck. And I'm standing here like this, I got my butt pinched so fucking, I'm fucked, I can't move. And I'm standing here like this, I got my butt pinched so fucking, I'm fucked, I can't move. And I'm standing here like this, I got my butt pinched so fucking, I'm fucked, I can't move. All of a sudden, you know, felt alright, I went just like this. I had that some food
No way.
from the crabs. I'm just standing there, and it's just running down my neck. Just running down my neck. Just running, just running, just running, running, running. And I just start fucking walking. Every time I'm walking, something's coming out of it. And I just start fucking walking. Every time I'm walking, something's coming out of it. Everywhere I shit all over myself.
Oh, God.
I take off all my fucking clothes, just wipe off, leave my shoes, my pants, everything right there, the towels right there in the stall, right there, the towels right there in the stall, right there, the towels right there in the stall, right there, the towels right there in the stall. Got up in the morning, took the most perfect double tapered shit I've ever had in my life. Most perfect double taper, most perfect double taper, double taper, perfect double tapered shit I've ever had in my life. Double tapered shit. Double tapered. Double tapered. Double tapered. Double tapered shit. Double tapered shit. True story. Who's the pitchers in this game?
Who's the pitcher? Okay, what is a double tapered shit, first off? What is a double tapered shit as we close that out?
Your father knows
about it. That's the question for all of humanity: is what is a double tapered shit? So that's George Brett. He's now going to the Padres. He is the third overall pick. Yep, he went third in 1970. Real life stats: he actually went to Kansas City, I think. Yeah, he went to Kansas City, played his whole career there. One of the best players of all time. Started at 19. And he shit his pants. So he's good for it twice a year, which is kind of weird, but you know what? Whatever. All right, we're going to draft for San Diego. They took George Brett, and now they will take Mike Schmidt. So they double up at third base. That's interesting. They'll probably use him at first. He's a little older, though, so he might actually start earlier. He was in, of course, he went to Philly, and I think he played right away. Yeah, he played in 1972. And that leaves Milwaukee batting up fifth. They will take Bill Madlock. So they're taking all the players we want. And now it's our turn. Our obvious pick will be Mike Caldwell. That's kind of the obvious pick for me. Let's see. Let's clear the filters. Let's see if, yeah, it's either going to be Caldwell or Bert Hooton. I think I would take Caldwell. The only other player here who might be of notice here would be Jim Rice, but he wants $70K to sign. Yeah, so we're going to take Mike Caldwell. I think this is actually a pretty easy pick for us, and we're going to go ahead and draft him. And we'll just round out the top 10. Sixth was Jim Rice, so he ends up going to the Cubs. I think he ended up being drafted by Boston, right? Yeah, Boston. That's seventh. Eighth, we have the Whites for Philadelphia. Oh, wait. White Sox took Jim Rice. And they take Happy Hooten. 9 will be California Angels taking Steve Boosby. And 10th will be Washington taking Sixto Lescano. Let's go ahead and we'll sim through our next pick. So, as we look here, it looks like Terry Forster is available, but he is a 5-star overall relief pitcher. We don't need a relief pitcher yet. I don't think that's the right call here. Rod Gilbreth is an interesting one, and I think this is the pick. This is a need, but it's also a 3.5-star prospect who can play. Actually, let's take a look. He would be a better outfielder than infielder. He's a second baseman. Offensively, he's got an elite batting eye, average power, but I see work ethic. He's a base runner. He can play left field if he has to. Let's see who the scouting director recommends. They recommend Rory Thomas, a reliever. We're not drafting a relief pitcher. Personally, I think we should watch the George Brett video again, but that's just me. Maybe we should watch the George Brett video again. I'm going to use my filter here, and I think it's Rod Gilbreth here. Or we can draft Mark Hill, who has some interesting abilities at catcher. He's average offensively, an elite blocker. Not a great, so he could beat Mark Hill. But I think Rod Gilbreth will be my pick here because he can hit. He's going to be able to hit offensively. Average bat, can play second. We can develop his offense a little bit. He doesn't have much range, but he's average error, average DP, and can play the outfield. 6'2" frame, probably a better outfield frame, but look at his speed. He's an elite speed. He can also bunt for hits. Good elite batting eye. I'm going to take Rod Gilbreth here. His bonus demand's only $2,100. We'll auto draft. Scouting director recommends Barry Foote, who is a catcher. I actually kind of like that recommendation. Average defensively with an elite arm. He's got some good got some average power potential. He does have high work ethic, but low intelligence, which is, again, I think that's weird for a catcher. He's not on our filter, but let's clear the filter real fast. Yeah. So I think here, yeah, Barry Foote's right there. He is a development guy. He will probably start at the rookie ball. His bonus demand is 1,900. The slot is 6,000. So again, he wouldn't cost us a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and draft Barry Foote. I do like that pick, so we'll auto draft. Let's look at our filter. Again, our filter doesn't really help us here. Ron Cash, left field, first base, but he doesn't really have the offensive ability to play left field or first base at a high level, so we're going to not draft him. He could work his way out of it, but let's look at our scouting director recommendation. They recommend Dave Edwards, who is a center field prospect. He is highly loyal and highly adaptable, even though he doesn't have the work ethic. He already has a pretty good floor, too. So he's someone who could, he's a star-and-a-half player overall. He's a decent base runner. He's going to have some good power. He might end up being a better corner outfielder. Maybe left fielder, where he's a 75 overall defensively. I think I like this pick. We'll clear our filters. And then he's the top player on the board. We could look at Nino Espinosa, but I don't really want to draft a pitcher, especially without any sort of, he doesn't really do anything that well. So we're going to draft Dave Edwards. We're going to have to go a little above slot. But in the first couple rounds, we've gone under slot. So that's going to help us out. We'll take that player. We are in round 4. So we're going to go ahead and auto draft. Let's look at our work ethic filter. Again, it's all 2 stars at this point, so we're probably going to have to work off our scouting director recommendation. They take a recommend Jim Kremel, who does have a high work ethic. 2-star. He's a starting pitcher with only 40 stamina. But he could develop into a good reliever. He's a fly ball pitcher, but his home run allowed here is average. So I see the ability to miss bats being a fly ball pitcher isn't the worst trade-off. But let's clear the filters and let's see what we're working with here. 2 relievers, but Jeff Holley, Bill McMichael. What about Wilmer Aaron? Okay, he doesn't really have a lot to like. I think I need to eat something. I wonder if I got anything to eat. I might go order something. Well, I would want to order breakfast. And it's 11 o'clock. I wonder if I can get breakfast still at Chick-fil-A or if they've gone to their lunch menu. Oh, well. Here, before I run this, I got to use the restroom. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Okay, so I'm really thinking we should just take Jim Kremel here, because as I look at this, I see the ability to strike guys out. He will struggle with limiting hits, but if he misses bats enough, I think he projects better as a relief pitcher. So we're going to take him. I'm going to go ahead and put him in the editor, though, as a relief pitcher. And I'm going to draft him. Nice. Nice. We love the toilet flushes here. How are we doing? Okay. And you get points, which I don't know what the points do. The points don't do anything. The points don't matter. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take Jim Krimmel, and we're going to bullpen him. College pitcher, which I guess that's... we do have 44 rounds, so... Okay, Rafael Lozano. High work ethic, high intelligence. We do like. Projects well defensively, and he's a good base runner. And he wears number 69, which I'll uncover the camera so y'all can see that. I still need to... I'm going to have to remind... Yeah, see where he wears 69. So I'm going to go ahead and take... Yeah. He does have a bonus demand, though, of 3,800, which... we've gone under a couple rounds, so I think I can afford that. All right, so... We'll take a look at... We are now in round 7. We have this guy, high work ethic, and he can play like 8,000 positions. He's a shortstop, so he would help us out with some of our middle infield issues if that arises at some point, but he's only a 2-star overall potential. Good batting eye, though. I think I want to take a look, though, at some other players before we draft him. There's really only 2 players here who have like a 3-star potential. Jeff Hawley got a bunch of negative attributes, and Billy Michael, who is low intelligence, so we won't take either of those guys. So at this point, we can just... Yeah, so good infield defender. I kind of like him, so we're going to go with him. We'll go and we'll... Jeffrey Anderson's next here. He's our next guy we want to take. High intelligence, low adaptability. He's a good quote. Looks pretty developed. Looks like a career minor leaguer. But he's smart. He won't do anything stupid. I like the base running, though. Which, where we're at, we still need bodies. And at this point, like, he's... Go ahead and draft him. Round 9, Frank Vasquez from Puerto Rico. And that's going to be a no. So we're going to have to make this pick ourselves. So I'm going to go to my filter. I need to edit this filter. Oh, okay. Let's see how that does. Oh, no. Oh, that just cuts out everybody who has... Yeah, that's what I want. Frank Mania. Average defensively, below average offensively, good base runner. We could look at Randall Brown here. Um, Honestly, he doesn't really have the stuff or anything like that. Um, Anthony Glassman. I might just take him because of all of the attributes that he has. He's a fly ball pitcher, though. I mean, he could develop some. We're about to run some ads, so I'm going to take a quick ad break. I'm going to go see if I have any food in the fridge. I have no bread, but I think I'll just eat some crackers or something. So I'll see y'all in about 3 minutes. Enjoy some ads, courtesy of Twitch, so I guess Jeff Bezos can pay the bill. Okay, we've made it back. Thank God. I forgot I had stream. We are looking at round 9. Unfortunately, Frank Vasquez is not really the player I want, so kind of looking at players who have like high work ethic. I'm thinking about taking Felix Manaea here, the middle infield candidate. But or even Joe Munoz. I think Joe Munoz would be a better player. He's got a little bit better floor. So we'll take him. So we'll go ahead and auto draft to Montreal. And we're going to go, yeah, Carlos Sagredo. Another kind of, he's an intriguing prospect here because he's got at least a little bit of batting ability. And base running. Doesn't really have the work ethic, so what I'm going to do is take a look at some of these other players. The catcher, Richard Belliston. Only an average defensive catcher. Same with Mike Campbell. Kenneth Caldwell, first base candidate. Not a great player here, but I might take Richard Belliston here just because he's got like at least an average in a few areas already, and he's already got better. Also a little older. Also, the bonus demand here at 3,800 kind of scares me away. Too. I'm thinking about taking here Ishmael Beltran. We'll take him. Charles Roberts, high intelligence. Really good potential at limiting hits. Not much is known here about Rafael Carriel, 16-year-old catcher. I think I'm going to stick to my guns a little bit here and go with Mark. Might go with Mark Burris here. Even though he's below average batting, probably probably a third baseman, but he can play a little bit of corner outfield defense. Stephen Burton, kind of the same idea, a little bit better hitter. So we'll draft Stephen Burton here. They still want Rafael Carriel. He is a catcher. He's an average defensive catcher, potentially, with now slightly below average. And he is durable. I may go ahead and take him here. I mean, we're in round 14, so we're pretty much just looking for attributes at this point. Carlos Velez, the second baseman. No real personality to speak of. So let's see if there's anybody within my filter I can take. What about Kenneth Caldwell? The ability to make contact to be good is below average. Look below average across the board. Mike Campbell. Jimmy Collins. Pretty good speed. Looks like he projects better as an outfielder. So we're going to go ahead and take him. I'll go ahead and take Carlos Velez here in the 16th round. He doesn't really bring a whole lot to the table, but Andrew Canoza, high intelligence shortstop who looks like he's already a solid has solid defensive ratings, a good base runner. I like this pick. No red flags personality-wise either. Felix Minaya, we'll go ahead and draft him. He's pretty much at the top of the board anyways. Tommy Scott. A few red flags here. He's just a base runner. I don't really see he projects as anything. What about Anthony Glassman here? Intriguing hitting profile. He's a one-pitch pitcher, so we'll probably not. Actually, what if I change his position to left field? What if he becomes a left fielder? Let's change him to left field, and we're going to draft him as an outfielder. Tommy Scott, too many red flags for my liking, even though, again, we can take a look at John Barber here. Two-pitch pitcher. Kind of is what he is. What about Santiago Brayan? Mark Burris. I like his ability to play third here with the below average hitting profile. But we'll take him. Basically drafting attributes at this point. Okay. Tommy Scott. Still don't want to take him. Maybe if he's there in the next round. Intrigued by Charles Butler, but he's a one-pitch pitcher. He looks like could be a very good defensive player. What if I change him to, let's change him in the editor to center field. Yeah, that might be a bet. He's not the best base runner, but I'm going to draft him as a center fielder. Okay. And then what we'll do is go all players. Scouting director recommends Billy Michael. Low intelligence, even though he's got some really good attributes here. Harry Conlon, at least the average outfielder, could, if he develops a little bit of power, he might be able to stay in the big leagues. We'll draft him. See, Tommy Scott, first baseman. Doesn't really do anything well. Has too many personality. Let's see. Joseph Cook. Intriguing catching prospect. We'll go ahead and draft him. We still have Tommy Scott here. I do like the I rating. I'm gonna go ahead. Well, I don't want him. Let's see. Let's take a look at overall. Let's take a look at some of these guys. Robert Schiffner. I'll take a chance on him. He's got a pretty. He's pretty much org depth. Wait, is that a good one? Yes. Wait. It's like when the beat drops, you hit the big one at the end. Thank you, Joe Schmo, for farting all over the screen. I think that's pretty much the kind of draft I'm having. Okay, we'll draft this guy. It's the delay, and then it's the delayed satisfaction of the fart that gets me every time. But no, I hope you're doing well. Let's hear this guy. Oh, they still think I want to take Tommy Scott here. I still don't want to. Yeah, I don't really like either of those players. It's pretty much all relievers at this point, though. Actually, no, we can take Mike Campbell. Yeah, we can take Mike Campbell. Edmund Tobin. Ew. Juan Correa. Intriguing. We'll draft him. And then we E'd him last round. What about David? Oh, there we go. Look at that base running. I'll take that base running, please. Let me see. I think I like Mark Melanson better. Well, we can have our cake and eat it too. Let's see. I'm kind of not drafting the relief pitchers because they all kind of suck. You know what? I never. Oh, we're still on November 15th. I haven't. I was gonna say I haven't looked at my coaches yet, but we haven't gotten word on them one way or the other. What about Robert Jablansky? Nelson Reyna. Billy Michael. Low intelligence. He's probably one of the best players left. He only throws 83 to 85 though. Like, I know it's like 1970, but that feels kind of low even by then. I think I could throw, like, when I could throw halfway decently, I think I could throw 8. No, I could only throw 75. Sorry. Never mind. I think my best reading was 75. I bet if I trained, he's at 16 though. I'd rather get players with high work ethic though. I feel like that's a better, like Mario Diaz. What about Luis Delgado? We'll get Diaz. Greg settles. We'll draft him. We hit the wrong button. Pick up Sherwood. Michael Sherwood from... Wait a minute. Oh, it doesn't have city of birth. Thank God. Hold on. What's his... Sorry, I have to do this. This name is really familiar. And I'm always afraid... You're always afraid that you're going to run into someone you know. So I'm off on a tangent real fast. Oh, here we go. Oh, he's from California. Okay, thank God. Sorry, I'm just worried. I'm drafting people I might know and or not know in real life, but know of their existence, and that scares me. Wait a minute. I'm going on a quick tangent real quick. Actually, here, let me go. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I'm doing something real quick. Okay. Sorry, I was just looking up something. Can we see the final? Sure. Why not? For batters and pitchers, we can do that. We'll go. We'll just go here. Not great. Not great. I'll sort them by WRC. As you can see, we got a lot of bad numbers, but we're at the bottom. This guy right here has developed, though, into a pretty decent player. 5.5 WAR last season with 31 homers. I didn't realize he had that many. 364 on base, 132 OPS. I think everyone else, like this guy was rookie of the year, but I think it was mostly due to his defense. He was almost a 3-win player, but he did have an OPS around 90, which is pretty good considering it's like a power. Pretty much everyone else is kind of, I mean, I'm going to kind of, yeah. And then pitching, let's go to pitching. I'm actually intrigued by what I have pitching-wise. We have Jim Barr, who we drafted last year in the second round, and he pretty much started for most of the year. I'd like to see him strike out a few more, but the control might get there. I don't know, but like, let's see, who else? We traded for Catfish Hunter. I probably will have to do something there because he's a fly ball pitcher in a home run park. But I'm hoping he can develop sort of the stuff that kind of negates that a little bit. The stuff and this, to where he's just giving a bunch of solo home runs. We did run Mel Stottlemyre out for a while. He was bad. Larry Jaster. Was he? Oh no, he was in the okay. Oh, that's combined numbers. We traded for him as kind of a throw-in in a trade. Did fine, ish. Bruce Howard we picked up in a trade. He's got good movement, or average movement. So yeah, that's kind of where we're kind of in the bottom of both leagues. Our bullpen kind of gave out at the end. Probably once we traded a bunch of guys. We had the Lopez guys here, Aurelio and Marcelino Lopez, kind of own it at the end. That figure had a good short season. Yeah, we brought him up late. We brought him up later in the year. He pitched most of the season in AAA, where he was decent. I'd like to see maybe if we can get some stuff out of him, he might be good. But yeah, he had a solid half year. Jack Billingham was okay for the most part. The walks kind of did him in. I'd like to see him develop some control. But he's already 27, so he's pretty much, he is what he is. He was one of our Rule 5 expansion picks. Yeah, and we've drafted, I think, we drafted a pretty decent pitching haul in the first couple rounds, so we might be able to do something there. My key for the whole season, though, I really got to figure out the infield situation because I have a black hole at second base. I might as well just have no one there. It's that bad. If we just go back to lineup, we ran out Gene Michael for 141 games, and he was minus 2.4 WAR. Had an OPS of 518, BABIP of 215. Defensively, he wasn't good. He doesn't even have good defensive ratings. So, but we had him on the team because he had captain ability. As much as that matters. I don't know how much that matters. I just didn't want to have a team without a captain. So if we're able to, we've got some options. Yeah, so he was the only one with captain ability, so that might be something we take a look at for next year. A little concerned here too, but the team's happy, so I'm gonna kind of let that slide a little bit. We did have a 12-game improvement, so we were 56 and 106 in year one, and we won 11 more games. All right, back to the draft. Let's see, auto draft. Let's see. They want me to take Edmund Tobin real bad. He would be an intriguing outfield candidate. I can't really take anyone with low work ethic, and that's sort of what I'm kind of going with here. Larry Walker, kind of an intriguing little prospect here. We'll take him. Yeah, they want me to take. I'm gonna clear the filter though. Yeah, so it's pretty much just BPA at this point. Yeah. Though he's a two. Oh, I'm looking at all batters. Never mind. Yeah, Billy Michael here in the. He's low intelligence, so I wouldn't take him. So yeah, at this point, I should just stick to my filter. I'm running a filter where I filter out anyone with not high work ethic and low intelligence. That way I can kind of... Let's look at Ronald Williamson. Ooh. Intriguing. We're almost done with the draft. Like, he has both. Maybe we bring him in. Yeah, let's bring him in. I'm just drafting him for the attributes at this point. Okay, so now it's just like, what about Leonard Chiappetta? We got Chiappetta, and I see someone who could potentially be a... I have an idea. I'm going to draft him as a catcher. I'm going to draft him as a catcher. Half-star player, but... we're going to draft Chiappetta as a catcher. Gil Stafford. Low adaptability, but he can play like 8 positions. I'm going to go ahead and draft him just because he doesn't have any red flags. Johnny Jenkins, low leader, but shortstop. Yeah, we'll draft him too. Larry Dombowski. Okay. Felix Diaz. Another intriguing candidate who has looks like a one-pitch pitcher. So, but could he hit enough? Could he be a potentially good defensive catcher? We're going to draft him as a catcher. Wait, does he have the work ethic? He doesn't have the work ethic, so we're actually going to leave him as a reliever for someone else to draft. I'm not going to draft him then. Because I think if you're going to change positions, you got to have high work ethic. Or maybe even high adaptability. Um, let's take a look at Thomas Becker, center fielder. And we have 2 rounds left. James Johnson. Looks like another solid defensive catcher here. We're really running the. Does he have any? Well, he's greedy, but he probably won't last. So. And then we'll scouting director make Felix Diaz. I don't like drafting those kind of players, so we'll look at. What about Lawrence Longa? Low adaptability, so I don't know how he would take to playing an outfield, where he doesn't really hit well enough, though. What about Wayne Dye? But I like his defensive ratings, so we're gonna go ahead and take Wayne Dye here. And I think that's going to end the draft. Okay. Let's take a look at our negotiations. Fortunately, we were so far below draft with our first overall pick. We were able to kind of go high here. This is our first round pick. 3.5 stars right now. 5-star potential. Probably already good enough to pitch in the big leagues. I'll probably start him in AAA, though, to start. But we'll go ahead and offer him what he wants. Again, we're just going to give everybody what they want. Rod Gilbreth was our second pick. We'll kind of review. 3.5-star prospect. Again, good work ethic. May either play infield or outfield, depending on what needs are. He's only 18, though, so he'll definitely have to start in AAA. Or in maybe even like a rookie ball or something. Barry Foote. Low intelligence, which is always concerning, but I went ahead and took him anyways. He only wants 1,900, so we'll submit that offer. We went over on Dave Edwards. Who was our 4th round pick. High adaptability. Very good floor here. Jim Krimmel. Good work ethic. Real good pitch mix here for this time of frame. And then Rafael Lorenzo. I was like 0 for 4 on pronouncing that name. We'll go ahead and give them offers for $3,800 a pop. So we didn't make a whole lot of ground on improving our middle infield. We did improve our middle infield situation a little bit. We traded for Don Wirt from the Yankees. Who just won the Gold Glove. So we're going to pop him at third and see how he does. He probably won't hit much, but he'll be able to field well enough to play third base. And that'll allow me to probably move Bobby Brooks, who we had used at third. He's actually improved defensively at third. So we might actually run a camp battle there. Maybe even do a platoon. Because he can play center, left, or third very well. So he might end up being like a super utility player. He's not much of a hitter, but he does have doubles ability. But our ballpark kind of depresses doubles a little bit because it's so small. Of course, he could end up starting in the outfield too, because Danny Walton did not play well for us last year. He only had 4 home runs and 16 RBI, and OPS plus of 46. So let's go ahead and we'll sim a few days. See how actually I want to take a look at my current offers for coaches. None. Does that mean they all signed? Did they all sign? Because I didn't get a notification that they signed. Okay, so they all of the coaches that I went after signed. Unfortunately, none of them really. There were only mild upgrades over what I had, but at least they're okay and fair at development instead of poor. Oh, we've dropped some frames. We'll have to have a party at the end of stream to pick those up. So right now, our focus is going to be on improving our middle infield, particularly second base. And I might even go on the trading block here. Let me go on the back on the trading block. And I want to do a edit filter. No. I'm going to see if there's any captains on the block. Charlie Smith, third baseman. Intriguing. He can only play third and short. He might be able to play second. Maybe if I force start him at second, I can probably get some. But he's not a great second. Well, he's only average. But average would be better than what I have now because he can actually hit a home run or two. I've got an idea. What if I just offered? Let's just do a captain swap. And then we just throw in like, well, we'd have to give up. I don't want to give up Dave Johnson. I might have to give up a reliever though. Don't want to give up Geronimo. Maybe Frank Baker. Yeah. Maybe if I throw in Frank Baker. There, and then we can probably get them to throw in something too. Let's see. They probably won't throw in a legitimate candidate here. Pat Bayless. What about Mark Stoner? Let's see if they'll throw in a Mark Stoner. They will actually. Wait a minute now, because I like the power here. He's got a good work ethic. I like the power. 43rd round pick in 1968, and I can throw in Rick Blott, who hasn't really done much for me, but he can play multiple positions. Yeah. Or even, let's see, Tony Cloninger. Sure, we'll throw in a lightly used, or even like, if we throw in our backup catcher, we already have a decent. I've got a backup catcher who's better than he is, so I'll just throw him in too. There. Now let's see what else. For a player I potentially like. And then let's get some. Oh, let me go to my scouting rankings. Let's see what my scout thinks of him. Oh, my scout thinks he's a 2-star player, but not much difference between some of these metrics. So that's fine. Let's see. What about I wish I could. Well, can I toggle? What, Thomas Johnson? Okay, he's not great. We could throw in Tommy Cruz. Fifth round pick in '68. He was Marion Jackson, 29th round pick. Was okay in A-ball, but he stole 25 bases. But you can't steal first base, and he had 320 on base, which is actually not bad. There, we'll throw him in. And then okay, I think I'm going to complete this trade. So we just traded for a captain trade right there. We'll put him in. First off, I'm going to set his position to second. And then we'll move him into this spot. Okay. So we at least did like a nominal upgrade. Like it doesn't, like the overall rating probably isn't better, but we at least now have a better hitter. All right, let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and sim for the next week or so. We'll probably get to. And then just for shits and giggles, just for shits and giggles, I'll place waiver claims on the 3 players I just traded. Just because I can. 3 stars. He would upgrade our second base situation a lot more than getting. Let's see what it would take to get him. We can't get him. He's a 10-5. We got 2 players in. We'll look at those. We'll look at our minor league roster a little later. Okay, we got another one in. And here we go. There we go. Sometimes you just got to. So basically, we got a second baseman for nothing. So we'll have an interesting camp battle there. Two captains will duke it out. Be a fist fight. Let's go ahead and sim through. Oh, well, we got a few more. Okay. We should be just about done. Yeah, we still have about 3 offers out. Caldwell, Edwards, and Aaron Zamendi. Or however you pronounce that guy's name. Okay. Let's look at the trading block, though. Let's go all players. I'll clear filter. Yeah. Joe Pepitone's on the block. We had him last year. Good player. We traded him to Washington, where he hit 9 home runs in the last 45 games. Should we trade for him back? No, I'd have to give up too much. Maybe Cusino. Okay. We'll go ahead and go through. Okay, David Edwards. He's convinced he was our 4th round pick. And it should just about wrap up. Winter meetings begin. Okay, great. Great. Fantastic. I don't really know. I'm looking at the trading block. And we'll pause here because we can do the winter meetings and all that in the next run. But I'm looking at the trading block, and like I could get a Frank Howard maybe from the Mets. I mean, but yeah, that's probably the Jackie Brandt. Vic Davalillo is here. He did really well for Washington. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and start ads, and we'll kind of take a look at the trading block and go from there. And I'll be back in about 3 minutes. Okay. Obviously, now Wayne Causey could be an interesting get up. We're in the winter meetings, so. But I see an average defender who he doesn't bring that much to the table overall. Dick Schofield is always an option for us. He is really good at drawing walks. But at 35, I wonder if he's actually going to... wonder if he's actually going to last at 35. Tony Taylor is a similar player who was actually very bad last year. Yeah. So I think I'm going to hold pat there. We got a bit of an upgrade at third and a bit of an upgrade at second. Don't know how much of one. We could explore like Norm Cash, but he's unmotivated. He wouldn't help our clubhouse at all. Maybe we swing a trade for Frank Howard, but he would have to play left field. We could see if we could make this work. I mean, we probably have to give up a little too much. So, and then let's look at our current rotation. I'm thinking about staying pat as far as trades go because of what's out there. Unless I just want to trade like, if I just want to trade for the sake of trading, we could potentially trade off like Andy Etchenbarren, who he was a below average player last year. So if we potentially got a better catcher, which I don't know if we have, because Jackie Hernandez is probably going to be in the mix here somewhere. He didn't really do much for us last year. We used him in more of a he's probably best suited for AAA though. I would like to get a backup catcher. So maybe that's a move we make, is get a backup catcher. Joe Askew. He's not the hitter, obviously, but he can throw. What about Tom Howler? Okay, he's not. He's more of an offensive bat. What about Tom Satriano? He's intriguing, but I don't know how I feel about that trade. And then these other guys aren't really catchers. I might just wait it out to the Rule 5 draft. We might just wait it out to the Rule 5 draft and see if there's anyone we can take there. Also, probably need to work on. Well, my 40 man's set. We'll have to take a look at it, but I think my 40 man might be set. And then, so let's just look at our team. Let's see. First base, I'm not worried about. Second base, we kind of got a three-headed monster of crap here. Smith, Michael, and Bob Heiss, who honestly is not that great either. He's got a little better bat overall, so I'm kind of hoping he sticks around. Third base, we went out and got Don Wirt from the Yankees. Shortstop, we're going to roll with Tim Foley for now. Because of this defense right here will play for us, so I probably need to get more ground ball pitchers. And then outfield. Outfield, the left field situation, it's going to probably be some combination of Brooks Lahoud and Bill Robinson. And this leads to an interesting situation. Like, we could potentially trade off Bobby Brooks, probably not, because he can play third, center, and left. Robinson can play first and left. We claimed him on waivers. Maybe he's a guy we trade. Because if we go to first, I mean, you don't really need a backup first baseman, but if we keep do we keep Danny Walton around? Maybe we put him back in AAA, thinking maybe we can get some development out of him. But or we keep Bob. Well, he's only at 35 defensively. What's our other option? And then Richie Scheinblum might be the trade candidate here. Man, let's shop Richie Scheinblum then. Let's see what we can get for him. We'll look at single player trades. Let's see if there's one player in particular. Let's say Nelson Garcia is an interesting steal base runner, but he's only a star and a half overall. Oh, he's disruptive. We can't have that. Let's see. Dave May. He's got bad attributes. Mike Machete. Let's see. What about Ken Tatum? Oh, here we go. Dwayne Joseph. Oh. Maybe this is the trade I make. He's not a great defensive catcher, though, but he's at least adaptable. He can hit a little bit. He's a better hitter, maybe, than who we've had at catcher. But he'd be a backup, so a little concerning that 45 defensive rating, though. Fred Kendall, though. Maybe we get Fred Kendall and hoping he can develop a little bit. Yeah. Let's see. Dave Cash. Low intelligence, but yeah, okay, that's he's definitely a second baseman. But rich hand, work ethic. I kind of don't want to trade for a relief pitcher. I think I'm going to trade for the catcher, though. Let's go ahead and swing the trade for Dwayne Josephson. And then let's see what else we can throw in. What I want to do is kind of compare, like, okay, so there's no one here that my scout likes. So we'll just kind of take a look at them. See if they'll let me take Joe Bowen off their hands. Nope. Isn't Kendall the better catcher? Wait a minute. Let's take a look at that then. He might be. Oh! You're not wrong. Yeah, okay. We were going to trade for Kendall. We wouldn't probably wouldn't. Yeah, because he's got a little bit more room to develop. Yeah, okay. Okay. There we go. Now let's see what else we can throw in. We might be able to throw in a little more then because he's not his overall isn't high. Let's see. Yeah, we can throw in Joe Bowen now. I like his defense and I like his base. His offense isn't good, but his defense and everything else checks out. He'll help our minor league sort of development, I guess. And then I think we threw in, what about Terry Clapp? We'll throw in Terry Clapp too. What about Hal Kurtzman? Okay, so they won't like that trade. And I'm not particularly. I don't want to. We won't get Hal Kurtzman. I think we have enough of that player already. What about Lonnie Ward? Ronnie Matney. Well, Bill May. Okay, they're not gonna budge on this. We may have to go down a little bit. What about Medina, the third baseman? Okay. We may have to go down, maybe get some star and a half guys who have like Augusto Austin here. Okay, maybe not. Larry Bashford, he doesn't really have any leadership ability, but that's fine. Let's see. We can always throw in, let's see. We may just have to roll with this trade. Yeah, we'll go with this because I like these three right here. So Scheinblum for Kendall, Bowen, and Clapp. And we may have to, yeah, okay. So we can just throw Fred Kendall right on our roster. So there we go. And And we have Etchenberry on the trading block. I might actually pull him. We have these two, but I'm not going to get anything for them. So, all right. So let's go ahead and we'll sim through another day. Okay. All right. So Darrell Thomas went through his center field program, and it went well. All right. He made solid progress in his defensive abilities. Took many reps. Let's look at his full scouting report. So now he's a solid center fielder. And with the speed and the defense being a little better now, I think we might have the makings of a solid player here. And then Mike Caldwell, he's signed on. He's almost good enough to go straight to the big leagues. At 21, yeah, probably. I kind of want to start him, though, somewhere else. Let's continue looking at the trading block. I honestly don't think there is a way. All right, let's take a look, though, at still our current loss. We looked at the outfield situation. Now we can go with Brooks LaHood Robinson. Center, we're going to have Thomas. Maybe even Cesar Geronimo. He can't hit a lick, but he's good enough defensively and base running to where that might warrant him a spot on the team. We also have Danny Walton here. And then in right field, we're probably going to run with some combination again of Brooks LaHood Robinson. There might be a platoon here. Bobby Brooks might end up starting every day. I don't really like him as a starter though, but I was really hoping he would develop a little bit more. Maybe we trade in some of his defense. And then let's get his contact up. Maybe we can get something out of him once and for all. Maybe even lower his gap power down a little bit. We may have to, I might end up getting because let's see, I want to have 5 outfielders. So it'd be Brooks, LaHood, Robinson, and Thomas. So we would need one other option. I kind of like Brooks better as a backup. I kind of like him better as a backup. Because then I could platoon. Robinson and LaHood. Even though, if we look, he has reverse splits. But, or maybe he would just have to play every day. Yeah, he could play every day. Yeah. Maybe we just platoon Brooks and Robinson in left and play LaHood. Okay, that's probably the plan then. Okay. And then we can go with either Cesar Geronimo or maybe even like a, well, no, he wouldn't be an option. Lee Thomas, no. I might go with, yeah. And then let's see. I want to look at my pitching real fast. Let's look at my rotation. Right now I have Barr, Hunter, Billingham. I think I'm happy with my 5. Howard, Figueroa, Billingham, Hunter, Jim Barr. And then we'll have, and then relievers, we've got Lopez, Garber, Lopez, Pogolinsky, Turpko. Maybe he'll start in the minors. And then, even though he's got the stuff to start already, or to be in there already. I'll probably just start him in the minors. Maybe we get one more reliever. So let's take a look at the trading block at relievers. And there's really not, I mean, Cal Kuntz from San Diego might be an option, but he was a starter for them. But he would be a better reliever. Maybe even a Ron Taylor from the Mets. But I still worry about fly ball pitchers, especially with his inability to miss bats. Let me look, though, at my overall organization, though, as far as relievers, though. Let's see. Down in AAA, I mean, we got Dick Lang down in AAA, too. And he's pretty ready. So we could probably we might be fine with the bullpen. Let's see if there's any free agents kind of hanging around. Maybe people who got released. David Hernandez, we could probably try to bring in. 23. But we can also look at the Rule 5 draft. I don't want to bring him in, even though he's got electric stuff and good control. Maybe we do bring him in. He's not great at limiting contact, so might have a higher whip maybe. But if he's good at missing bats, like, he would just have a really high BABIP. All right, we'll go ahead and sim through the winter meetings. We'll just go ahead and sim through the winter meetings. And then what we'll do now is just go ahead and sim through the Rule 5 draft, because I think we've gotten everything, unless we'll just go ahead and sim through the Hall of Fame voting, and we'll look at this. We can cast our ballot real quick. Let's see. Yogi Berra is here, 3-time MVP. Roy Campanella is here. Richie Ashburn. Not sure about Johnny Antonelli. Let's see. Nelly Fox is in his first year, 12-time All-Star. He'll make it. Let's see. Gil Hodges. Sherm Lawler, 7-time All-Star. I've never even heard of him. Minnie Minoso, will vote for him. We'll vote for Pee Wee Reese. And Slaughter. So we got a couple more places here. What about, we'll vote for Junior Stevens. He's got a pretty decent WAR for his career. And then we'll kind of look at the rest. Mike Garcia. He only won 140 games, though. We'll throw a bone at Billy Pierce. So we'll submit this ballot. There we go. Looking at the trading block afterwards, looks like it hasn't changed much. A bunch of players we're not getting. So we'll go ahead and sim through. We'll go ahead and sign. We'll make sure we have all our draft picks ready. Our 40-man is pretty set, I think. let's go to Rule 5 eligibles and make sure there's no one on here who I would... Oh, shoot. Maybe Frank Tavares, we need to protect him. Grady Pierce, I think I'm fine losing him. But those would be the only two. Maybe we DFA Charlie Vincent and Lee Thomas. And then we'll put where's my Rule 5 eligibles? There we go. Yeah, and we'll just move Grady Pierce and Frank Tavares over. Everybody else, you know what? He's the 58th overall prospect, but he's a 2-star ability, and he's not like... That's kind of a weird one. So I'll protect anybody with 2.5 stars, but I'm not going to... Yeah, so we'll put Lee Thomas and Charlie Vincent on the block. They're not really... We can leave them in the minors. So, okay, so we did the Rule 5 check. I think all of our draftees are in. Yep. So we can just go ahead and sim right to the Rule 5 draft. Looks like these two we can go ahead and shove down into the minors. All right, Rule 5 draft. We pick 5th, so we'll have a decent pick. Let's start draft. Okay, Brian Casino was drafted, so we lost him in the Rule 5 draft. Again, I was fine with losing him. He went to the Cubs. So let's look at who's here. We have Gene Martin, who we ain't getting, and Walt Williams, who we're not getting either. So I think, unless there's really anyone here, like Cy Acosta, not really kind of, we might just go ahead and bypass the Rule 5 draft. What about Mike Adams? Not really. Because Roy Bethel. We'll okay. Yeah, so I think we'll look at the scouting director. They recommend Mike Adams. I'm not going to take him. He doesn't really remember. We don't have a doubles ballpark, so I'm going to bypass him, and we're just going to skip this pick. Dave Johnson was taken. So we've lost 2 players, but again, it's like, oh, my head scout liked them, actually. Maybe I should have protected them, but oh well. Yeah, we'll skip. Okay. And I think we're at a good stopping point now. We'll go ahead and sim to January, but there we go. So we're at January 1st. We can look at our team now. A little better. We're still not great by any means, but we're getting there. We're getting there. kind of look at what we got now. Players. Let's go with batters. Yeah, we still got to probably increase our overall talent level on our with our position players. But I kind of like our pitching situation a little more, because I do have a couple guys stashed in the minors who are gonna help us out here, like Mike Caldwell. I don't know how long he's going to be in the minors. He's not on our 40-man just yet, so I might go ahead and give him a camp invite, but the team's getting better. But I think this is going to be a good stopping point for me today. I'm going to go ahead and save it, and we'll go